Hi, my name is Carly Cooney, and I'm the Land Program Manager at the Marine Science Institute in Redwood City. We are a local nonprofit focused on environmental education. The Marine Science Institute was started back in 1970, focused on getting kids out in the nature and involved in environmental education and helping learn about how we can keep our environment healthy. We have a lot of different programs that we do at the Marine Science Institute based both on the land and also on our research vessel. Our Discovery Voyage takes place on our 90-foot research vessel, the Robert G. Brownlee. It's for grades 4 and up and has students rotating through a series of 3 different stations aboard our research vessel in the San Francisco Bay. The first station that the students get to participate in is our plankton station. So at our plankton station, they get to put a net in the water and they collect both phytoplankton and zooplankton. They get to bring it back up on the boat and then they get to look at it under a microscope to see what they caught. At this station, they also get to look at the water quality of the San Francisco Bay. So they get to use a Van Doren bottle to put down into the San Francisco Bay where they get a water sample, which they then get to take up and look at temperature, density, and salinity of our water in the bay. We also have our mud station that the students get to do. They use a large Peterson mud grab that they lower into the water. They get to collect mud from the bottom of the bay, and they bring it up, get to put it on the boat, and then look through it for invertebrates. And then, of course, they get to put some mud on their faces and join our mud club. We also have our fish station. For our fish station, the kids get to put an otter trawl into the San Francisco Bay, and they trawl it behind the boat for about 10 minutes. Hopefully scooping up lots of really cool fish. When they bring the net up on the boat, they get to see what they caught. Oftentimes, they caught a lot of cartilaginous fish like bat rays and leopard sharks. Another one of our programs we offer is our Shoreside program. It's for grades pre-K up all the way through college. And for our Shoreside program, it's based on a lot of the stations we have on our research vessel, but it's on shore, so it's much more accessible for the younger students. We have a seine net that the students get to pull in and collect invertebrates and fish from the bay, which sort of takes place of that otter trawl that we use on the boat. We have a lot of the same stations. We have plankton that the students get to look at. We have an invertebrate station, but we also have a shark station that we add in and a marine mammal station as well. But hydrology is also an option for our shoreside. We also have the option of taking animals into schools. We do realize that it is hard for some schools to come to our facility because of transportation costs. So for our inland voyages, we can actually take our animals into the schools. One of the tools that we have at our disposal is we actually have a large trailer that we can fill with bay water and actually bring leopard sharks and different fish into the schools. We also have a lot of different habitat options with Pacific Ocean animals where we can bring the animals into your schools for a series of 50-minute programs. We also have programs that take place out on the coast. One of those is our Tidepool programs. This is for grades 3 and up, and we meet at Pillar Point in Half Moon Bay. For this program, we help teach the students how to be proper stewards of the tide pools environments, as well as how to properly tide pool and take care of the animals that live there. We also have our Marsh Beach program, which takes place at Pescadero State Beach in Pescadero. The students get to do a marsh walk and expedition where they get to use binoculars to look at various different bird species, and they also get to learn about plants along the way. They also have a beach station where they learn about trash that can get washed up on the beach in the rack line, as well as beach geology. Our Canoes and Sloughs program takes place at our site in Redwood City, and that is for grades 6 and up. For the Canoes program, kids get to come to our site. They form groups and get to paddle in canoes together. It's a really great chain building activity. And in their canoes, they get to explore the local Bear Island, which is a pristine marsh across from the Marine Science Institute. And they get to discover the mud down near the marsh and study some of the plants and birds' life, as well as testing water quality in the slough. One of our multiple exposure programs that's based on the Canoes and Sloughs program is our Wonders of Watershed program. This is all about teaching students about their local watershed. It starts with an inland voyage where we bring in an Enviroscape where they get to learn about how water moves through a watershed system. It is then followed by a creek study at a local park where they get to test various chemicals within the water system and see which nutrients are there. And then it finishes with the Canoes and Sloughs program where they then test the water quality in the slough and can compare that with their creek study data. Some of our other programs are our multiple exposure programs, are the scientific method and the biomimicry programs. For the scientific method combination program, it's a series of 3 programs. The first, we go into the class and teach kids about the process of the scientific method and have them practice for their field trip that they'll be taking. They can then take a field trip either as a Discovery Voyage on our research vessel, out to the Marsh Beach at Pescadero, or out to the Tidepools in Pillar Point. When they're on their field trip, in addition to the normal stations that they do, they also get to take scientific data. The third field trip that we do with them, we actually come into the class and teach the students how to graph the data that they collected on their field trip with us. So our other multiple exposure program is our biomimicry program. Biomimicry is the process of design of using nature as a sustainable design inspiration to making human innovations. So students get to learn about the process of biomimicry first by us bringing seashore animals to the classroom. They get to interact with those animals and learn about the different adaptations that those animals have and how those adaptations could be used as a sustainable design for a human issue. They then get to go out on our research vessel and study more of our San Francisco Bay animals, get more inspiration for that, and then use those adaptations to actually design on paper their own research vessel for studying some animals from our San Francisco Bay. It does help hit on a lot of those NGSS engineering practices. What we are currently working on right now at the Marine Science Institute is we've been working really hard at getting all of our programs aligned with the current NGSS standards that are being implemented in 2018. What we're doing is for each grade and each program, we are going through and doing entire alignment sheets that walk you through the different standards and how our programs specifically hit those standards. So hopefully teachers will find that as a helpful resource in choosing a program of which standards they want hit and which program might be best for that. We are also working on completely revamping our pre and post activities that we make available to teachers. So over the next few years, we are going to be kind of revamping all of those pre and post activities to make them more relevant to the current standards and with current technology that we have. If you're interested in finding out more information about the Marine Science Institute at our programs, you can visit us at www.sfbaymsi.org. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email us at info@sfbaymsi.org. Thank you so much. Have a great day.